So it looks like we've already started, right?
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah.
Let's just jump into Futari Ultra. So yeah, first things first. So the player is Gus. The game is Mushihimesama Futari.
The legend.
Ultra mode. One of the most difficult shmups of it all, it seems. Or at least it has that kind of reputation, right?
It has that reputation, yeah. It's very, very high up there.
Right. And we have all seen that one YouTube video.
The hardest video game boss ever.
Exactly. So this game.
So it has to be true. It has to be true.
This game features the hardest video game boss ever.
Exactly.
I mean, you couldn't really tell in that video just how hard it is. It is really hard, but you couldn't tell from the video back then.
Yeah, the player also like stopped shooting at some point.
Right. I think it was just randomly credit feeding.
Yeah, he was just practicing or something.
Oh, yeah. It's still pretty hard.
It's a very good meme.
So the actual run, it seems, has not started. That was just practice, it seems. I don't know. Maybe one thing we can mention is that Gus is actually playing on an original 360 controller, so he's not playing on keyboard, which would be unusual for console games anyway. But he's not using an arcade stick, which you might have expected, perhaps. Because many players are actually using an arcade stick for those.
He's using a shitty stock default 360 pads on the shitty D-pad.
Well, when he was practicing yesterday, he had a controller that was so shitty that he told me he couldn't play on it, and we had to change that to a slightly less shitty one. So this one he's using right now, but he's super fond of it and likes it. So yeah, I mean, whatever you get used to, it seems.
Yeah, I think he also plays like zoomed out on a TV.
Yeah, and he's playing in Yoko mode.
Yeah,
so
Yoko
like horizontal.
and zoomed out.
And he's looking very focused. He's very close to the monitor as well, I think.
Very focused, yeah.
He's going full shmup now.
Full shmup. Every day, all the time, full shmup.
We are not going to see default extents. So in order to make it safe enough for live demonstration, we settled on extents on every 80 million points, which means that you get quite a lot of extents if you play well.
Yes.
Which also means that the early game is quite difficult because you shouldn't die in the first two stages.
Like you always start with like 2 extents, so that's not a lot.
Right.
And you also have to like score well.
Right.
To get to the point to get a lot of extents.
Right.
So like if you die like early, you risk the chance that you don't get those extents, and then it gets like really iffy.
So more or less, you will be using his scoring routes in order to get all those extents.
Probably, yeah. Like more score means more extents. So.
Right. And not all the extents are going to be displayed on screen. So the most we see is I think 5.
Yes.
And then it goes higher up. I think if he plays well, he has like 10 lives.
Yeah.
Or last at the end.
To get a silly amount if you do it really well.
But he's certainly not going to use them all.
No.
He's probably more he's going to die more than usually than the default extents would allow it, but not too much more, I would say. So we are still in for quite a ride here.
Yeah, exactly.
And watching him practice, he got a casual clear of it, I think yesterday in the evening. So it's quite insane.
He is a bit jet lagged though at the moment, right?
So he arrived yesterday, and basically it's a 9 hours difference. It's pretty insane. He didn't feel like too ready over the day. I mean, he still cleared the game, but he looked very tired. And let's just see how it goes.
He's very dead at the moment.
And it appears they're ready to go. So here we go.
Here we go.
He's going for palm abnormal.
The best shot type for
which is the easiest, comparatively speaking, for Ultra mode.
Yes, by a very big margin actually.
Yeah, I mean it's still hard as balls the game, but using this character,
makes it reasonable.
Yeah, kind of reasonable.
Yes.
So even the first stage, when compared to, for example, the original Mushihimesama Ultra mode, is much more difficult and actually quite a big hurdle. Most people I've talked to tell me that stage 2 gets a little bit easier, actually, because there's a lot of screen clearing. Exactly.
For survival it gets easier, for scoring it gets significantly harder though. But stage 1 is like basically one of the hardest stages in the game.
Yes, stage 1 is insane.
In terms of survival. Like you have these rocks that shoot like suicide bullets, so you have to be careful not to destroy too many of them.
Those bullets are random, I think.
As well, yeah, yes.
You are French?
No.
No, you're English?
Yeah, but we're live streaming at home.
They're doing a thing, yeah.
Also for
Oh, it's
So he used the bomb at the mid-boss. Did I catch that correctly? Or wasn't paying attention. But other than that, it looks quite clean. The most difficult parts of that stage are already gone, it seems.
Yeah,
well, minus the boss.
a team in the stage that you want to destroy everything as quickly as possible.
Right.
Because otherwise they just fill the screen with bullets and it's pretty much over.
So the boss, the first attack is fine, but then we are having one attack is dependent on RNG, like when the flames come out.
Yes.
So that's probably
It can choose either between the flame attack or the streaming and flame attack.
Right. So this
and the streaming one is significantly easier than the other one. This is the easy pattern.
Ah, I see now.
It's the easy streaming pattern.
Perfect. So you got lucky
You
there.
got lucky, yeah. You got the lucky, yeah.
And the last one is easy again, just tap down.
Tap down,
That's
yeah.
it. So if you take any of the other character or subtypes, the fight would go on for much longer and it gets much more difficult. But with this, you can speed kill.
Like normal palm can't actually destroy the mid boss.
Yeah, it's funny how normal palm is like the most difficult to use and abnormal palm the easiest to use, and both retros are in between.
It's normal palm is unplayable.
Like one guy ever has created, it seems.
Yeah, it's exactly one guy ever. Yeah.
Right.
whose Mega Ray player is this?
This is the stream, yeah.
It's live.
It's live.
Oh, you mean like he's in there right now?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
We're doing the English restream, yeah.
You started already?
It's stage at the beginning. You can drive.
I'll go in.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, I got the back.
Oh, go, wait.
All right.
Yes,
So you can see just people passing by here. So yeah, this stage is all about the cancels, right? You can cancel the bullets by hitting those red enemies, and you can cancel them by hitting the icicles here in the
yes.
on the right side, right?
At the craftings, cancel bullets and these icicles.
So as for the icicles, it seems like everything it spools out as random, but you also have to wait a little bit because you cannot harm it the moment they come on screen, right? You have to wait a little bit.
They're invincible for a moment when they're on screen, so you have to delay shooting them. Otherwise they just fill the screen entirely with bullets.
And of course for score you want to have as many bullets as possible on screen, and if you're just playing for survival you can just speed kill everything.
That's exactly like a big restart point for scoring, because you want to fill the entire screen with bullets, and that's really risky.
Right.
Like here it delays shooting it for as long as possible, so you can kill it as quickly as possible.
So the 3 icicle section right before the mid boss, quite tough, but he's doing alright. And I think he will go for the 1 bomb strategy for this mid boss because it's just insanely difficult to no bomb.
Yeah, it's extremely inconsistent to not bomb this.
Yeah, he's going.
If you look at this, it's basically walls and shooting.
It's insane.
It's ridiculous.
And as you can see,
that's painful.
But he already got the first extend.
Yeah.
So he's at 120 million. You get every 80 million one
every
extend.
80 million, yeah. Every 80 million.
But this death might be kind of problematic because it lowers your score potential because your counter decreased.
Yeah, I think
so gaining extra lives now will be a little bit tougher.
Yeah, I think it decreases the overall counter by 1/3, I think. So you lose a lot of potential, but it's still early in the game, so it isn't as big as a hit as it could be.
So would you say that the second half of the stage...
One enemy was alive there.
Yeah, I couldn't even see it. But what would you say, the first or the second half, which one is more difficult for stage 2?
In terms of survival scoring, that's a big difference.
Right, for scoring, let me guess, the first, the second.
The second is a lot harder.
For survival.
Second is a lot harder.
Oh, for scoring you mean?
Scoring, yeah. Survival, it's a lot easier than stage 1.
So for the boss, we are going to see a couple of difficult attacks. Lots of RNG involved here as well.
Ooh, that's pretty tricky.
Like this one can easily wall you.
Yeah,
using a bomb here.
You usually use a bomb. Yeah, it's usually a good place to use a bomb. They can get the cancel as well, like that. This boss is all about like misdirecting stuff.
Right,
like you can see,
exactly
like
this one, right?
Yeah.
Just don't stay in the middle. This is quite tough as well.
It's very
tough.
Yeah.
It's very precise.
I think it also depends on where the boss is on the screen as well.
I see.
I think that's
misdirected as well.
Yeah. Right, this band you can like actually milk the score.
Right.
So you have to like beat.
Holy shit. Mistimed it a little bit.
I think the score you can do like 9. You can loop it for like 9 times, I think, something like that.
Right.
But it's way too tricky.
Right.
So people usually just do like twice or something.
Another bomb there. So what is? He's trying to misdirect the bullets, right? Yeah, that's what he's trying to do, of course. I was just wondering for a moment then. So he's at the second cycle. Is he actually scoring right now? He is scoring, right? That's the second cycle, and he's not harming the boss.
But paying attention to how much he's been shooting. He might be.
So those orbs you can milk a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And you can go for like 4 or 5 cycles, which is absolutely insane.
Yes.
Because of this attack, because it gets more and more difficult each time.
Yeah, it gets denser each time. Yeah. Oh, actually, to fully milk it, you have to stop shooting. So you have to do that unfocused, and that is the hard part. Yeah.
That's insane.
So most people don't do that.
This is pretty random as well, and they still got plenty of resources, so no.
Gus once did the full milk, then he died in stage 3. He did it once, he did the full milk once, and then died in stage 3, which is tragic.
He's feeling it. He's feeling it. So stage 3, again, lots of randomness actually. We're gonna see lots of hives and other things like putting out circular amounts of bullets like these. Well, these are not random at all, but the hives that are swirling around, they are actually random.
Yeah, like the ant hives. Like these things, right? Yeah.
Right. So they can be very tough.
And they also shoot like that suicide wing.
Right. So that's probably one of the more tougher things. The other ones are the enemies throwing those rocks at you. So this one, right?
Yeah, this one. Yeah, you have to like misdirect the initial burst to actually get under him.
And again, there's lots of RNG involved with those enemies as well. And all those popcorn enemies you can safely route around, but it's still very precise routing. So even though you can route many things in this game, it is very, very, very precise. And one small mistake can lead a huge barrage of bullets in your direction. So really,
yeah, if you make one mistake, then everything just spirals out of control.
It's insane, yeah.
Ooh, it's
pretty rough.
Always a scary part, yeah. This part in general is like really scary.
Right. So if, in case this run of 1.5 is going alright, then Gus is perhaps trying to do 1.01 for his second attempt.
Yes.
But we still have to talk about this, and I don't know how confident he feels about it, but it would be quite something, because that's even harder.
It's a lot harder,
But as you can see, I mean, 1.5 is
it's already crazy, already insane, yeah.
To try this live is just insane.
Yeah, this is not marathon safe.
No, not at all, not at all. There are some games you just shouldn't try to clear live.
Like Diojo White Label.
Yeah, that guy did it, but that's just beyond.
It's running a bit low on lives.
Yeah, the
at
thing
this
is,
point.
his counter is really low, so how is he supposed to get a lot of lives back at this point? This is really tricky now. Not looking too good, but let's just see how
Yeah, I think he basically has to like
he has to play really well now.
not make any mistakes here
Right.
to build that back up,
Right.
the score counter back up. Luckily, all the deaths were like early game, so wasn't that big of a hit yet. The score. Wow.
Great. Especially those rock enemies, they're just incredibly scary to me.
This part took like forever to learn for me when I tried it. Had to be very precise here in what
Right.
you do.
On his last life now.
It's not his last yet. There's one extent yet.
Well, yeah, one.
Excellent.
Last extra life.
Yeah.
Let's put it like this. And here we go for the boss. And again, as you would expect, the boss has lots of very tough patterns. Some you can handle more easily than others, so those first initial patterns are all kind of fine, I guess. This you can
When you start
misdirect.
shooting here, it's actually random. You can start actually immediately shooting immediately after the previous attack. That can really screw you over.
So this one's pretty tight as well. It looks quite scary because you have to go around and do like very unorthodox movements, but he made it through. Now he's just waiting to get a bigger cancel.
Yep, right there.
And again, this is very fancy misdirecting.
Indeed.
So the boss itself actually does not have a hitbox, right? He can
No,
just
you
go
can just go right through
through
him, yeah. Yep.
I mean, I guess it makes sense because the boss is on the ground, it's an insect, and the character is flying on a dragon. Like, it almost makes sense. Also, this is all random.
That attack can screw you over very easily, yeah.
Yeah.
You got
exactly.
good
It
luck
can mess
there.
you up anytime.
With good RNG there.
So it can happen that the boss moves down way too much, and for this last attack, it just shoots it right into your face. But it didn't happen this time. But there's one clip of Gus basically having to fight this attack, like right in front of him, and it's completely undodgeable, completely bullshit. But this is looking good.
Yeah,
And
this-
again, you can quick kill it with
Yeah.
palm if you don't care too much about
Yeah, you can kill it.
bigger
It's-
cancels.
Before it starts shooting, you can just end it.
Right.
It's pretty silly.
And again, he's there. He's totally there.
He's very excited. Hang in there, man. Hang in there.
So stage 4. The game has 5 stages. The last stage is the longest and also the most lucrative for scoring. But first, stage 4. Those moth enemies.
That
This
was,
enemy will appear a couple of times later, and it's the main obstacle in stage 4. It's incredibly difficult. The last moth right before the boss is probably the most difficult, but any other instance before is already very, very difficult. These towers, they move either left or right way.
Yeah, we saw that at like a random point in rotation.
Right. So there's lots of randomness involved. Actually, these worms are probably the like when it comes to mid-sized enemies, one of the more safer ones to deal with.
Yeah, you just have to be careful of the popcorn enemies.
Right.
Because they can ram into you when you're on top of the centipede.
Right. So the hitboxes of the enemies overlap. Right. So
Yes,
when a popcorn enemy is above
That's
the
a
worm,
rule.
you
Thing
cannot
that-
kill the
yeah.
popcorns, and when you then ram into the popcorn, you die. So you have to keep that in
Yeah,
mind.
it's a bit inconsistent whether you shoot the popcorn or not. Because of the weird property of the shot.
Yeah, the shot is kind of weird in this game, right?
Yeah. It isn't like fully consistent all the time.
So here we go for the second bomb, and he is bombing this for safety, which makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
Just don't even bother with it. It's too much.
Stage 4 is like kind of weird. Like for survival, it's like the easiest stage in the game, except for the mods.
Right.
But yeah, it's survival is the easiest stage pretty much. For scoring, it's of course a lot harder.
And his counter seems to be still quite low, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty low.
So he's having a very tough time getting those extents, even on non-default settings. You can just see how difficult it is.
Yeah.
So he will go for the default, which is
It should be at like
easy, I would
should be
say,
at like
right?
100 gear or
Like-
something right now.
Right.
Counter.
Oh, this was
This bit was-
very dangerous. So sometimes you can get fucked with this, but overall
Normally
it's
it's
doable,
pretty
yeah.
easy, but
Mm.
if you misdirect it,
Right. And it seems like the second half is roughly the same difficulty-wise as the first, or is there a huge difference between those two parts of the stage?
not really no.
Not really.
It's mostly just streaming really.
Yeah, lots of streaming, lots of cancels with those and the worms.
If you know what you're doing, then
Right.
it's pretty safe.
Right. So 2 more moths are coming up.
Yes, yes. I think on the last mod,
He will bomb, hopefully he will bomb.
But
Well, he only has 1 bomb left, so he cannot bomb both, right?
No, I can't. But I think on the last mod, the enemies that spawn are actually random, and that like can greatly vary the difficulty of
Right.
a particular mod enemy.
Right.
I think that's something that SMC told me.
And now here we go for the last stretch. 1 more Mantis, 1 more Worm. You both get 1 counter from it each. Like, is the Worm supposed to come out of the Mantis, or how does it
Yeah, I
work?
think so. Yeah.
Alright. Like, what's the story behind those? Don't answer.
Insects, man, insects. It's a scary world.
Yeah. So he almost doubled his counter now, and
Yes,
he bombs this one. Alright. Makes
What you
sense.
get,
Makes
if you
sense.
bomb it, you can also like get a bigger cancel on it. For score.
Oh, right.
So it's better both ways.
So, but what's he doing about the last one now? This is insane.
He has to dodge it. He can't
Now
do
let's
anything else.
see if he can do that. He did it. That's
Nice.
pretty good. And taking a look at his lives, he has
Yeah.
a lot of lives.
Look at the life counter. Yeah.
Just what happened? I don't get
It
it.
was at 2 like a second ago, and now it's at like 7.
So that's just how much score you get from stage 4. And stage 5 will be similar.
Yes.
So this one is just tapping, but very careful tapping. But other than that, this is fine, this attack. Alright,
That
he went
button
through
also
that
looks
one.
really cool always.
Yeah, it looks really impressive. How is RNG for this attack? Is it random or is it fixed?
I think there's some randomness to it, but don't quote me on that.
Looking good so far. So the last phase,
This pattern is
not-
RNG based though.
yeah, this is probably then
This attack will wall you if you're
right,
lucky.
right.
Like
Like
it's
almost-
almost happened there, yeah.
And now we can see just how small the hitbox is.
Yes.
Like very small.
Yeah, good. Surprisingly, in version 1.01, the hitbox is even smaller. That's look forward to that if it happens, yeah.
So the last phase is not difficult at all, right? Because you can quick kill it and it's
Yeah.
fixed anyway.
Yeah, it's
so you
easy.
just got to know where to position yourself, and then this is not too bad.
You just move to the left and then back to the middle,
Right,
and then you're
right,
done.
right. So very safe once you know what to do.
Yes. Just get out of the way of the big balls and then. you're
And
done.
again, this is just a great advantage of Palm, because if you use anything else, then you
takes,
got to dodge it
it takes
for
a lot
longer, and
longer.
it becomes really,
Yes,
really
yes.
challenging. So here we go for the last stage then. Yeah, the resources are now looking very good.
He's looking great, yeah.
But we shouldn't underestimate the last boss because he will need those resources.
Yeah, you'll need at least like 4 or 5 lives to beat the final boss.
So for this stage again, cancels are everything. You get a cancel when you are very close to those lanterns.
Yes, yeah.
You got 2 right now, and they're proximity based when you get the cancel. If you are too far away, you don't get it. Also, those mid-sized enemies usually give you a cancel as well. There's another lantern, and he will go to the left now and get those lantern last moment.
Yeah, routing in this early part of the stage is all based around getting all the lanterns.
Right. This is very fine routing.
This looks crazy, yeah.
Just hop from one cancel to the next, but it's much more difficult than it looks. It looks very easy. And this is, I think...
Yeah, everything is aimed, so if you don't like hurt it properly, then everything falls apart.
Right. This is for me what constitutes a good player, to make a difficult game look easy.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And this is what we see right here.
It's very, very well done.
I mean, looking at this, I could almost think I can do it myself, just have a go and go for all the cancels, but that's not how it actually turns out to be in reality.
No, it will take a lot of practice, to do the same thing.
This is just tapping, right?
Yeah,
but you kill it before you actually have to tap a lot. Oh, in this stage, and not that he needs it, but you get an extend here in the latter half of the stage, but he's good on resources now.
It's the one secret extend in the game.
Right. And he waits for the cancel, so he gets some
extra score,
yeah, he's actually doing quite well, scoring-wise, for stage 5.
Yeah, he hasn't made
no miss, no bomb, I think, right?
He hasn't made a mistake in a while,
Yeah. So this is really looking very clean. And you got that cancel last second, which was probably supposed to look exactly like this. So upcoming is the mid-boss, which dies very quickly with abnormal palm, so it's not that difficult, but it can be much more difficult if you use other characters, or in 1.01 it's very, very tough. But here with abnormal palm it's kinda okay, but this
mid-boss is extremely random, extremely random. It can be very, very trivial or almost impossible, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Like those balls are all random, right?
Yeah.
And this is also random.
Yeah. It's a coin flip, basically.
Right.
It's one of the things I don't really like about this game.
Lots of randomness about, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, coin flips and that's the kind of thing. It is just streaming, but in 1.01 you can't actually stream this, so you have to keep the dragon alive or something.
Yeah. Because you don't want to trigger the second form at all, because you can't kill it in time, and then
it's impossible.
So here you have enough power to actually kill it before this shit reaches you.
Get a very big cancel.
Right. And this enemy will appear once more, right?
Yes.
So we will see it in a bit. It looks quite impressive visually. And here some more cancels via the lanterns. And the extra life is coming soon, right?
Yeah, it's up here, right on the left here.
Right.
That house.
So you just have to shoot this house, get the extend.
Like right here.
There it is.
There's that guy again.
Right.
Still going for cancels, because why not?
I mean, at this point he probably doesn't need to care about scoring, so this is for showing off.
No, he probably has like 10 lives at this point.
Yeah, at least. So he saved the run.
He should be safe, yeah. He should be safe.
Definitely.
This game just looks so impressive to watch.
Yeah.
It's always.
It's just beautiful.
It's art, really.
So here starts the last stretch of stage 5, which is also the most difficult part of the game. Well, of the stage, I would say, at least. Maybe not of the game, no.
The final part can be pretty tricky.
Yeah, exactly. But this last part is especially difficult because you can just get walled so easily. Again, the routing is very precise here.
You have to stay on the white to kill all those medium lizards.
Right.
Yeah, you have to do 2 of these things at once. You can delay them a bit to get like a bigger cancel. It's also pretty risky.
So yeah, now the stretch begins, right?
This is the final stretch, yeah.
And basically he can just bomb it because he doesn't get that much score from it anyway. So the resources he has now are the resources he has to clear the game with. So just as he does now, just bomb it, just play for safety, and hope that it's enough for the last 3 bosses actually. So
if your counter is really high, then a loss is actually worth quite a bit for the big cancels between phases. That's what. That's usually
on the boss, you mean?
Yeah.
Right.
That's usually when people get the counter stop. It's doing like a cancel from loss.
Yes.
But it's pretty hard to like not die to her. So you can probably only do the cancel once before it stops being very worthwhile.
So even the first phase is incredibly difficult, or let's say like the first boss. So afterwards we have 2 TLBs, 2 true last bosses, and even this first boss, first phase is very tough, and he will bomb twice here.
Yeah, this boss is so hard that it's easy. Because you can't dodge it, you just bomb it. There's nothing else you can do.
You just have to rely on
your resources,
or you die. And again, for this one, you just have to bomb. And if I'm not mistaken, this attack speeds up, right? So it is very strange transition from slowdown to no slowdown.
As well.
And before this starts, you just gotta bomb. And this also eliminates the risk of dodging the streaming attack that is appearing on top of it, like this one. He bombs it right now just to get rid of everything at once.
It's just not dodgeable. Just you have to bomb it.
Right.
It's unreasonable.
So this one you can dodge. It's pretty tough, and it will go from left to right and back. Let's see if he actually. Well, he has no bombs left, so he has to attempt it. It is very tough.
I think this also depends on the boss movements. Like if you actually get like the room to move back to the left.
Right.
Like right here, he's very close to the white wall. Yeah. That might have been like bad RNG because he said because of boss movement. Yeah, it's lucky.
And it's just insane to see how high the net will follow you up. But yeah, it's over this effect.
It's one of the things they fixed. It's one of the things they fixed in God mode. That pan's always dodgeable.
Right. It's not going that much to the side.
Yeah.
So here we go for the last phase of the first
this pan can also be a coin flip. Like if it starts like this, then you can misdirect it.
Right.
But it's random, like if that happens or not. Like it can either happen or not happen. So it's like 50%.
So you have those 2 different patterns, and one you can misdirect, and the other one just fucks you over.
Yeah. You have to bomb.
That's
or die.
And this one is a safe bomb as well, I would say, right?
I think so, yeah. So that's not a coin flip in the game.
No.
There are like 3, at least 3 of them.
This coin you don't flip.
This they just bomb.
And this one is basically another impossible pattern, right? I mean, how are you supposed to go through
everything up to this point is basically not dodgeable.
Yeah, it's silly.
Unless you get really lucky. So this is where you need all your resources for.
Right.
Just so you can like spam through it.
So just talking about the difficulty for the last bosses in comparison, Gus told me that the first true last boss, so the upcoming one, is actually the most difficult, he would say. And then the first boss, he would say, is second, and actually the second true last boss, he would say, is the easiest because you bomb anyway. But this, he says, can be misdirected in many parts, as you can see right here, for example.
Yeah, this
But it's very precise again and very tough, and actually you have to dodge it, because when you bomb, the boss gets a shield, you wouldn't damage it at all.
You can't damage it, no.
So you have to dodge this one and have to shoot. You cannot just back off from it.
Yeah, this boss is actually like dodgeable for the most part.
Yeah.
This battle is you have to bomb pretty much. The one before this is dodgeable, but it's very hard.
Like very precise dodges as well. And I assume it's RNG dependent as well, right?
Yeah, like where it starts is random. Yeah, it's like the random rotation.
Right. And this then controls the whole pattern, so basically you can control it yourself. I see.
It's very cool when you can manage to dodge it.
Yeah.
It looks very crazy. And from here you go all the way to the right. Yeah. It's like safe spot here.
Shit, what was that? Damn, I've never seen that one. That was quite clever.
Yeah, that's how you exit the battle. if you have done.
So again, this you misdirect by staying high up on screen.
All the way to the top right or top left.
Yeah. And then this is, I mean, it's still dangerous in a way, but of course not comparable to what would happen if you just stay at the bottom in the middle.
It's not impossible.
Yeah, exactly. Let's call it like that, maybe. Absolutely insane. Like he actually stayed at the bottom in the middle. That's not supposed to. It looks like.
She just stayed.
Oh, by the way, taking a look at his lives, he is now losing the displayed lives. So
he has 5 lives.
Usually 7 get displayed. Oh, you only have 5 now. So those are his actual lives.
Yes.
He has 5 left for, well, 1.5 bosses, right?
Yeah, that should be fine. It should be fine.
It should be fine.
Like the final pattern takes like maybe a life or so or something.
So this is more redirecting.
Yes. Go between them.
And this one, how do you tackle this one? You just stay there and do like micro dodges?
The walls are aimed around you.
Right.
The red ones are random, so you have to like use tiny positioning to make sure you dodge the tiny bullets. Make sure you don't move too much that the walls like mess you up.
Right.
You have to.
This is impossible.
Yeah, you have to speed kill the boss before this happens, because otherwise you're in trouble.
And here we go for the second TLB and the last one, the last hurdle.
It just keeps going, this boss.
Yeah.
Like what the hell?
So again, this boss has a shield, so you can only damage it while you are actually shooting it. But the health bar decreases very quickly, right?
Apparently this pattern starts somewhere in the pattern itself, it starts, and you want it to be in a certain part of the pattern so you can actually dodge it.
Right.
So you have to like time your bomb correctly and time your deaths correctly so that you can actually dodge the pattern in the part where it's dodgeable.
Right. So he lost 1 life, but he's not going to lose another.
Nah, he's got this easily.
He got it. Got it in the back.
Yeah, he got it.
Cat in the back. Great.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
It was just absolutely. He got the pillow. I'm not going to tell the stories where those pillows are coming from, but good to know the pillows made it on screen.
They secured the one. They got the clear. The pillows got the clear.
So you can take a nap.
No, it's very good.
Let's celebrate, man. he's
what a guy.
He's into it.
Amazing.
He's so excited. That's great to see. But I mean, if there's one guy who just has the balls to do this run live, it's him. He's the one going full schwab after all.
Yeah. It's major balls to do this in a marathon.
Right. So I assume that after they have a small interview with him, we are also going to have him here. So if the chat has any questions, so you can type them in now, we can read them and then
get your questions in now, yeah.
That was really intense. So he has cleared it, so maybe he will actually decide to go for the even harder 1.01.
That will be very exciting. Very exciting. That is something else. That mode.
We could talk a little bit about the differences when he has actually decided that. But if people are interested in that, SMC, who is actually in chat right now, I think has made a nice, very informative write-up on the differences. And I think it's up on the Electric Underground webpage and also in the Schwab's forum in the Let's Play forum, so you will find it. But I guess like 90% of the people in chat who are watching have already read it anyway.
Yeah.
So
probably, yeah.
Oh yeah, there he is. Shoutouts to SMC.
My guy.
Also a great Ultra player who is actually using Reco and not Palm, so that's a whole different story then.
Yeah, he didn't take the easy way out, you know.
Pretty amazing game.
Insane, yeah. Insane. Yeah, from what I watched, like Reco is just a lot harder than Palm.
Yeah,
yes.
I mean even stage 2 is absolute madness, absolute hell. Because you cannot really kill the icicles in time. And you have to dodge it like a little bit, but it's so RNG dependent that you basically just have to pray. So how many icicles are there? Like 10 or even more? And it's like, it's a coin toss for every single icicle. It's not funny anymore.
No.
But yeah. So, some people just want to go that way. Have you cleared Futari Ultra?
Yes, with
of course.
abnormal form.
Abnormal.
Yeah. The same shot, right? The same shot.
Right. But you had no motivation to go for the counter story?
Not really at the time, no.
No, I see.
And that's like the only thing you have always like the port, the 260 port.
Right.
And it's like not very efficient like to learn that thing. Right. If there were more resources available, I'd probably like try to go for it.
Right.
It's like right now, probably not.
I've heard that when you can clear the game, the counter stop is not that far off, right? Is that true? Like you have to do like a little bit of scoring, but it's not that much more difficult. Just a little bit.
He makes stage 2 and 4 like a lot harder at least. That would be a big difference at least. Not pretty sure actually. Yeah, you just have to put enough points.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that's it for the Schnaps runs today. For all the people who have joined after this, well, we get Gus for the interview, of course, so this is happening, and then we will be down, take the stream off just for a bit, and then have it connected to the caps again. We were streaming Escaluda a little bit before, and we will go for another game after the stream, so expect us to be back maybe in an hour or so, just get
like
the
a
setup.
dedicated streaming cap.
Right.
That they have at Hay.
Right. And basically this streaming cap will be on for the remainder of the day. So until midnight you can follow us on this cabinet. We will change games quite frequently, so at least 2, 3, 4 more games you will be able to see. And then it's just random people playing.
Yes.
I don't know. Some good credits probably upcoming. I mean, if we can get Diojo in there, for example, I want to definitely see Juju Kenobi playing. But we'll see how that goes.
He's very good at that game.
Yeah, he's
very good at that game.
Fantastic at it.
That would be exciting to watch. Yeah.
We also have quite a selection of rather obscure games this time, I would say. So we had Psy Battler in.
Yeah, that's Psy Battler. Like, yeah.
What do you think of Psy Battler?
Oh, it's that's a big question.
We don't have to talk it if you don't want to, but I would like to listen to your opinion.
I think it's an interesting game. But, like every stage is pretty unique.
Right.
Like what you have to do, and it's also scoring. Like stage 2 is like sort of lead. Right. Yeah. That's very unique. And like stage 3 is like you have to carry the big gun all the way to the end.
The hero is coming. Have a seat, man.
Have a seat. Yeah.
How we doing here?
Very good. Everyone's cheering you on.
Do you want to be? Oh, you're not. So if you you have to speak a little bit louder, a little bit closer, because we only have the microphone basically installed on the laptop.
Okay.
I speak pretty loudly, yeah.
So I use these pillows to like help out my hands. Like it's a lot better for your hands, like if you're playing while resting your hands on something than like when they're just in the air. That's something I found out. So like I play with the pillows and I don't have as much hand pain. It helps me out.
So from now on, you're always going to use those pillows.
I've always used pillows actually. Like you've been watching my ASX one, I was using the pillow there. Yeah.
Nice.
So let's talk about the run.
Pro stats. Yeah.
Let's talk about the run. First of all, congratulations that you've made it.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane doing this live.
I thought that run was total shit.
It got really close, that one.
Yeah.
Like in stage 4, you only had 2 lives, and you had to make it in a very low counter.
Yeah, I was not happy with the first 3 or 4 stages on that run at all.
So what was it? Was it nerves?
Yeah, I had huge nerves.
Yeah.
Like, could you hear me? I just couldn't help but like scream out. Oh my God. I mean, yeah, it was crazy playing on there.
Insane. So the first few stages, how did you feel about this? Like first 3 stages?
I thought I was going to have to continue in stage 3.
Right, and like almost.
Yeah.
But you managed to pull it back. Very good.
So stage 5 seemed to be like, especially the first half, no miss, no bump, but you were scoring and the multiplayer was going up again, and this was absolutely insane. So that was probably my favorite part of the run, the first half, stage 5. Brilliant, very precise.
Thank you.
Great recovery, yeah. Great recovery.
Yeah.
That saved the run definitely. You know, I got to like get my lives up there, and even that depth kind of helped me since it restocked my bomb.
Right.
Yeah, and I was pretty happy with the Larsa fight. I was just kind of disappointed I didn't get to beat the final 2 bombs. That's what I was hoping to do.
Right.
I came really close to that, but then I died. Yeah. But I'm going to be doing 1.01.
You've decided that you are going for it.
Yeah, that's been my plan for a while now. You can see me on my Twitch channel, I was practicing.
Right.
Yeah. That's like your main game right now, right?
Yeah, that's my main game. Yeah, I just wanted to play 1.5 because 1.01 is a pre-order bonus. I kind of wanted to show people the most accessible version of the game. But like, I kind of view 1.01 as kind of a more evolved version of the game. Like, most of the strats are still applicable. It's just with no counter stop to worry about.
So you say 1.5 actually was a step back in the development process of the game, because you know it was the other way around. But you say you actually like the earlier version, the beta version, so to say, more.
Well, on the port, on the copyright screen, it says that 1.01 is from 2007.
Well, but it's basically 1.0, right?
Oh, they changed some stuff. They added some bomb carriers. They tweaked your hitbox, and also the scoring in Ultra is very different. Like they use the same scoring system as 1.5, while in 1.0, the original, the stage counter maxes out at 9,999, like in the original one. So they kind of improved the game a little bit. So
how much more difficult would you say is 1.01 compared to 1.5, which you have done now? Just how much spike in difficulty are we going to expect for your second run then?
Well, my second run is going to be a scoring run, so I'm hoping it's not going to be a disaster like that other one.
But you will go for non-default extents again, right?
Yeah, I'm going to try some a little bit harder strats this time. Like, I was pretty much just using the regular counter stop strats for that one. My score was just shit because I played like shit, basically.
Well, not really, but yeah, amazing.
Everyone enjoyed it at least.
Yeah. It was fantastic.
And, do they know about my Twitch channel?
Yeah, we can type it in.
Yeah, let's advertise my Twitch channel a little bit.
All the advertising.
Watch it.
You can type in anything then.
Oh, what kind of keyboard is this?
Oh yeah, it's a French one. Okay, that one. Chat has no question.
There's one question here. Have you tried other controllers on 360?
What the heck? Gus, why do this?
It's French keyboards.
So we have one question in chat.
Have you tried other controllers?
When I first got the game, I bought an arcade stick, a Ori EXSC, but I was not very good with it at all. Like, as soon as I started playing pad, my skill instantly improved. But I also barely played the stick before I gave up on it. And now I kind of regret it, since like I want to go to an arcade and play. I can't do that. I get destroyed.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm thinking about kind of learning stick a little bit. You know, it'd be super cool. Like I go into an arcade and like play some Dodonpachi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I was at each show at that big scrub event there. I played some Dodonpachi there. And I kind of surprised myself. On stick, I made the 1-6, and that was just a great feeling there. You know, like playing this game with all this history behind it, playing on the exact same setup people have been playing for 20 years. Love that feeling.
I think it's really cool if you can handle different input methods. Like if you can do it with the controller and go with the stick, you can play in different environments, right? So if you're in a cage or at home or whatever, right?
Yeah.
That comes really in handy.
Yeah.
I think.
So,
That's cool.
Yeah, I also tried to learn like a bit of stick just to get so I can play like during these weeks.
yeah, I thought you were a pad player.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but you can do stick just fine, I guess.
Yeah, not. I can play on stick, but not like as proficiently. Yeah, it's still a bit hard for me.
You got your Dodonpachi high score on pad? Did you get your Dodonpachi high score on pad?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
So if there are no more questions in chat, and if you want to say something else, maybe then we are going to cut it, I would say. So
Check out my Twitch channel. Make sure to subscribe. I'm just a few followers away from becoming affiliate status. Yeah, help me out there. Subscribe to my Twitch. And yeah, well, watch the next time I'm playing on Sunday.
So you have a gaming career ahead of you. No gaming career for you? All right.
You heard everyone. You go subscribe to Gus.
Yeah. Subscribe to Gus. Yes. You got balls. All right. So thanks everyone for watching, and see you in the bit. I would say on the dedicated cap. And there will be 2 runs tomorrow, including Blue Revolver, and 2 runs on Sunday. So see you guys then. Thanks for watching.
See you guys then, yeah.
See you guys.
Which one's it? This one?